Hey you guys, it's your girl Raqfamousstar, aka Raquel. Coming to you from inside my kitchen. um, okay, so this is the recap vlog of BB episode 7, which is Wednesday night's episode. Basically it was after this episode is veto and replacement noms if need be. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with Shelly is stupid. I think I don't even really like Davon, and I think sending Davon home right now is not a smart move because as you see, like Davon isn't a good player. I think even if she teams up with other people like Jason in the house and James, I still don't think that makes her a power player. I think she will sink her own ship, and I don't think it's time for her to sink it yet. I think Audrey has sunk her own ship. And I think I like Audrey more, but I think it's Audrey's time to go. But, I mean, things flip on the top flip of a dime. I don't know what the phrase is. But, anyways, Becky still annoys me. I don't know. I don't like Becky. She just seems very annoying, very naive, and very irrelevant on the show. The thing I don't like. Okay, I'm bouncing around because I'm just going along with my notes. Davon was being a big crybaby. No. Don't act all big and bad and all. Oh, I'm gonna be all whatever. And then when I get in the DR, I'm gonna cry. Girl, stop. Girl, she's blowing up her own game, and her attitude is gonna get in the way of her winning, of her trying to make additional allies. That's gonna get in her way. When she sits down in that chair, she has a very uppity girl sit. She was just very you gonna take me out. I'm no. First of all, that would not have been Raquel. I would have been in that house y'all send me home. They would not have sent me home. Cause I don't know. I don't think she knows. Yeah, she was good TV, but I don't think she knows when to shut up. And there was times God gave her about 4 or 5, 7 times, and then BB gave her 8 or 9 more lives, and she just kept blowing it up. And that I don't know. I think Davon is sinking her own ship, and as much as I'm no, I don't want her to go home. I think no matter what happens, she's gonna go home. Clay was very obnoxious. I think he feels entitled and feels like he can tell people what to do. I think it's going to get old really fast, and he's going to go out before a jury because people aren't going to take it anymore. I think people are going to get him out first, and then Shelly isn't that good of a player. I mean, yeah, she won an HOH where you had to put a puzzle together, but I don't think she's a real contender. That HOH, that was stupid. They might as well said who can tie your shoes the fastest. That was stupid to me. Okay, so the veto was basically Kathy listed off a bunch of things to her assistant, and then a picture popped up, and the assistant was holding everything but one thing, and they had to figure out. She listed off 7 or 8 things, and not just listed them, but said words in between them. I need cornstarch to get my pants nice and straight, and then she listed another thing, and so you had to remember all of these things, and then when the picture came up, you had to go get the thing that she wasn't carrying or wasn't in the picture. When I tell you, when I was trying to play, I would have lost that competition because the only one I knew is the sombrero, the one that Shelly messed up on. I was just what? What did she say? I would have been standing there still looking at the picture until the sombrero came up. or to the missing woman's sombrero. Okay, so anyways, John ends up winning, which is good for him. And they try to get John. They try to talk him into not using the veto. I'm sorry. Have they watched BB ever? When has somebody... Maybe, I'm sure it's happened, but a classic case, Marcellus. I'm just going to say Marcellus. For those of you that don't know, back when Marcellus was on, I think it was like BB3, maybe BB4, I don't know. He was early on. Marcellus ass, it did not use the veto because he was up there with his friend. He didn't use it for a different reason, but yet he was the veto holder, did not use the veto, and went home. Like, I would have been like, so you want me not to use the veto? That's what you're saying. Now, before I leave this room, in awe that you would say that, I'm just gonna say this one word, Marcellus, and then I'd walk out. Like, no, I'm using the veto and I'm taking my butt off the block. I'm not gonna be that pawn that foolishly stays on the block. So whatever. Okay, so John uses the veto on himself, and they're talking about possible replacement noms. And of course, Devon and a lot of people want it to be Audrey so they can backdoor her. That Becky still thinks it's Audrey. But then they talk, Becky and Shelly, and she kind of tells her, like, I want Day out, blah, blah, blah. And then there comes a list of people that could be replacement noms. And on the list is Liz, who I like. I like her. I just want the twins to get in the house. That's why I like her. Meg. And then a lot of other guys are either safe or, like, too big of threats to put on the block. Like, they wouldn't put Austin up because I'd send him home. Like, I don't know. And towards the end of the episode, they talk about putting Audrey up, just because Audrey got on Clay's nerves, and because he was kind of being a little jerk when he was like, the only reason you're here right now is because of me and Shelly. The only reason you're going to be here next week is because of me. Like, I would have been like, I don't owe you anything. You know what? If you feel like you own my life right now, put my ass up. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't put it up. Don't put me up. But you know what? If you feel like you the shit right now, go ahead and put me up. Okay, so I really thought for a second that they were going to put up Liz. Like, I was just like, oh my God. Then the twin is not gonna know how to act. Like, I don't know. I was just like, I hope they don't put it up. So Austin and Vanessa come up. Well, Austin basically comes up with, and Vanessa kind of just helps him with it, to put up Meg, because he didn't want any of his friends up on the block. And it works, and Meg is the replacement nominee. And I think, with that being said, Davon's gonna go home. Unless Davon wins the last laugh twist to knock out Clay, Becky, and Austin's vote, or Clay, Becky, and somebody else. What I didn't like is how Becky was so easy to, like, okay, yeah, well then Audrey would be the, like when Shelly was like, okay, we want to get out Day this week. She was like, okay, yeah. Like, I can't really blame her because, I mean, if you're not going home, it's not really if you or your ally, if you're not going home, first of all, it's not really a problem. Second of all, if your ally or allies are not going home, it's not your problem either. And I'm positive that Becky and Davon are working together. So, I don't know. But I still didn't like how she just was like, okay, go ahead. Like, Now, you know, if that was you, you be hurt. Like, if I was Davon, I wouldn't talk to none of y'all after this show was over. Like, that would piss me off. But yeah, so I see it as unless Davon wins the power, Davon or Jason, I see it as she's going home. And I don't think it'd be bad. She kind of is annoying me. She had a pretty funny line this episode. I forgot what it was, but it was like, oh, when she was like, please let me pick Jason. Please let me pick Jason. I picked Steve. You know, like the way she said it, I thought it was really funny. But I wouldn't mind if she went home. Like, I think she's played out in my mind. But I think, okay, let's see. Who do I think's gonna win? I think, sorry, I'm like thinking, I think Vanessa. I think Meg might blow up her game a little bit this week. I think Vanessa may have a good chance. Austin, I think what they did this week of not getting Meg on the, like, I think they're very good with talking to people and getting people to like listen. Like Austin just because of his size, and Vanessa just because she knows how to like manipulate people. They're my picks for this week. The only reason I don't think Meg will be is because, like I said, I think she'll blow up her game just a little bit. If she sits back and just chills, then maybe not. But I'll put Meg up there still. But yeah, that's my spiel. So from inside my parents' kitchen, this is Raquel. Good night.